Justin Trudeau forced to do a 180-degree turn on his immigration policy. Is this him coming clean about his failures? Spoiler, no, he doesn't admit his faults here, but he's also not blaming Harper this time. Before we get into today's show, I want to talk about today's sponsor. That's right, it's me, of course. We've started this coffee company. It's amazing. And we're talking about not just drop ship white label coffee that we put out there. No. I'm actually involved in the process. And this is what's so great about this coffee. Now, I've gotten together with a good friend of mine. He's from the Vancouver area and he's a coffee roaster. He's been doing this for some time and he makes delicious coffee. So we got together and we decided, hey, why don't we put together some flavors that would be great for the Clyde Do Something audience. I know everyone loves to enjoy the coffees in the morning with me while you're watching the videos. Now you can enjoy some locally made from people who actually support the causes that we're after. We're going to take this over by offering great flavors. You know, you have your dark humor, you have your medium roast, and even a decaf. Get out there, grab some of that, head on over to the store and absolutely check it out. Now let's get into the video. Justin Trudeau put out what was this? What even was this? This is Justin Trudeau not apologizing for what he's done over the past 9 years with his immigration policy, but coming out and saying, we need to make a big change. We're making a big change to Immigration Canada. Here's why. Is it because they failed? Well, let's hear what he has to say.
Immigration. Let's talk about it. In the last 2 years, our population has grown really fast, like baby boom fast. And increasingly, bad actors like
right there.
Colleges.
I gotta stop that. Baby boom fast. This whole idea of the baby boomers and comparing it to the immigration policy now. Baby boomers came about after the war, and Canadians came back and they started having children. This isn't what's happening right now. Canadians are not having children because of the economic situation that we have right now. And so politicians, in order to keep these schemes going, they need to have more and more taxpayers all the time. They need to bring in tons of people. And that's the difference between the baby boom situation and now. But hey, you know, let him keep talking.
Years, our population has grown really fast, like baby boom fast. And increasingly, bad actors like fake colleges and big chain corporations have been exploiting our immigration system for their own interests. So
their own interests? These are your interests. This was Mark Miller was famous for saying that they're lucrative assets in Canada, of course, because you were treating them like a crop. There were people that were coming in on scams and you and your cronies were making a ton of money over this. But hey, let's hear what else you got to say.
We're doing something major. We're reducing the numbers of immigrants that will come to Canada for the next 3 years. Today, I'm going to let you in on what happened, where we made some mistakes, and why we're taking this big turn.
Translation. Let me tell you how it's not my fault and how this is all other people's faults and of course bad actors. We're gonna hear that term. A couple of bad apples in the apple cart. Wait, what's this? That's right, CTV News printing this. Trudeau says he could have acted faster on immigration changes, but he blames the bad actors. That's right. You know, the prime minister with the person with the most power in Canada blames other people, of course, as always, and this is the situation. But this was the original thought of Trudeau back in his early days. This is from 2017, talking about what is a Canadian, what it means to be a Canadian.
The idea is that regardless of where you're from, if you come here and you can be open and respectful and work hard and believe in opportunity and justice and the kinds of things that we don't just aspire to, but identify ourselves as Canadians through, well, you get to be Canadian.
Oh, you get to be Canadian. That's right. It's just so easy to just like allow people to come. Hey, are you going to be a nice guy? Okay, cool. Great. Are you not going to take advantage of our situation? Oh, you promise? You absolutely promise? Well, at the same time, Justin Trudeau was pitching this idea of a post-national state. Well, how is that going? Trudeau's erasing Canadian history to achieve his post-national vision, writes the Niagara Independent. I'll leave a link in the description down below. You can go read this article. It's great. This is what's happened in Canada. That statue of John A. Macdonald was desecrated, but it was also pulled down and decapitated. Yeah, that's right. This is the Trudeau's Canada that we see. But now we can see, fast forward, what does this actually look like? Ryan Gerritsen pointing out that government screwed us, calls for, I don't even want to say these words on YouTube because you can get in trouble for this. On the streets of Mississauga, where in Ontario, they don't want to be Canadians. They want to continue fighting their conflicts here on our soil. They will not accept our culture. They want us to become theirs. Yeah, this is their path. This is what we're seeing more and more of all the time in Canada. And as people raise, concerns about it, this is, I'm going to pause that. That's just obnoxious. But, if you're a Torontonian, it's just the norm, right? Forget about car horns and that kind of thing. This is what you hear on a daily basis. And the fact of the matter is, like, you can't even go in the streets of Toronto, apparently now, with a Canadian flag. On the streets of Canada's largest city, Toronto, you get beaten if you dare to fly a Canadian flag. Welcome to Trudeau's post-national state. Canada no longer exists. This is really what's happening. So have a little bit of pride in your communities. No, that won't be allowed. That won't be allowed at all. And the crowds will come in, and I have to pause it there because this is where conflict happens and not allowed on YouTube. I'm sorry. This is just the reality of the situation. Now, Pierre Poilievre did chime in on this on the weekend. He was on a podcast in Vancouver, or some radio station. And thank you to Stacy for posting this on X. This is what he had to say.
Let's not get distracted. The problems we have in immigration happened under Justin Trudeau before this election. President Trump has not even taken office yet. And the chaos in our immigration system has happened mostly in the last 3.5 years when President Biden was in power. So let's not turn our gaze away from the source of the problem, which is Justin Trudeau, who increased our population growth by 300% in a matter of a couple of years, who, by his admission, this isn't me, allowed massive fraud in international students, temporary foreign workers, and the refugee system. By his own admission, the liberal immigration policies have caused massive housing, job, and healthcare shortages. And now he's basically denouncing his entire immigration policy and expecting us to believe that he can fix the problems that he caused. This rampant incompetence has caused human misery, both for newcomers and for multi-generational Canadians like you and I. Yeah. The bottom line is we have to fix our immigration, get back to the best system in the world, the one that brought my wife here as a refugee legally and lawfully, the one that brought so many people here to pursue the Canadian promise. And we definitely need more frontline border guards. We need to secure Roxham Road and other points of entry. We have to make it clear that it is not allowed for people to just walk across our borders. And we have to look at legislative changes if necessary to prevent people from abusing our system. It is possible to be a refugee to the United States. It's not possible to be a refugee from the United States. We vacation there. It's not a dictatorship. It's not a dangerous country that you need to flee from.
That's right. They're coming. And this is the idea. If somebody has made it to the United States and then they want to enter Canada, well, too bad. You can't. You're already safe. No thanks. And if the United States doesn't want you, well, that's their prerogative. And it looks like that's the prerogative. That's the way it's going to go. But yes, there is massive rampant fraud here. We're seeing this more and more every day. Ryan Gerritsen putting this out there. People claiming to be refugees in Canada get $224 per day from our government to eat and stay in a hotel room. That works out to be $81,760 per year, $20,000 more than the average Canadian salary. Absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, and probably tax-free as well. They're not paying any taxes on any of this stuff. Now, I got to hand it to Pierre Poilievre because he is starting to hit hard. And this is great. I love seeing more of this. He's got some good ads that are going out that are really pointing it out.
Woke? Hey, Pierre Poilievre, it's time for you to wake up.
Owing controversy surrounding an Ottawa high school that played an Arabic language song which has been linked to protests of the Israel-Hamas conflict. It happened during a Remembrance Day ceremony yesterday.
The federal government calls its new passport design a celebration of national identity. The new travel document doesn't include any tributes to veterans. Even an image of Terry Fox is gone.
I'll leave a link in the description. You can go check out that video in its entirety. I do want to, before we go here, I want to also recommend this article from Darshan Maharaja. He's been on the channel several times. What our immigration policy needs is a comprehensive reform. Instead, we're getting piecemeal changes of a knee-jerk nature and self-congratulatory messaging from immigration minister. My latest article, and I'll leave again the link for this on darshanmaharaja.ca to go read this article. Great, fantastic. I'm going to have him on this week to talk about this, because this is a failed experiment. What's happening here in Canada is absolutely a failed experiment, and we need to right the course. And we're not going to right the course by having people who put us in the situation right the course. We need to get new management. New management is the idea. And well, that of course will come along in the form of an election. We're all waiting for that election to happen. Well, we're being held hostage for a few pensions. And that's really where we are at this moment. But I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Leave a comment in the comment section down below, and don't forget to hit that link. Go get yourself some nice coffee, maybe even a new mug, and enjoy. Everyone, keep on trucking.